What up, Jumzy here, and welcome back to another Dead by Daylight video. Today I'm gonna be telling you all the new things from the developer update from May 2024, which is a lot, so I hope you enjoy. First of all, we have the good guy. Now he can only scamper while in his dash ability, which is a great change. This does nerf his power, but it is a very healthy change in my opinion. He did however get a decreased power cooldown from 18 to 12 seconds and a decrease in time it takes to scamper from 1.4 to 1.3 seconds to compensate. Next up is the cannibal, who got some really nice buffs. They've increased the chainsaw sweep duration from 2 to 2.5 seconds and increased the movement speed while chainsawing by 0.06 meters per second, which might not sound like a lot, but it is very nice, especially because his power isn't the greatest. Furthermore, they decreased collision detection size to make it easier to use your power in loops tighter. Another great thing is the decrease of the base tantrum time from 5 to 3 seconds, which also immediately changes the timing for survivors when bumping into a locker. The Deathslinger also got some nice little buffs, although the number changes are very minimal. The stun when a survivor breaks free is now 2.7 seconds instead of 3 seconds, and real speed is now increased from 2.6 meters per second to 2.76 meters per second, and his movement speed while reloading is now increased from 2.64 meters per second to 3.08 meters per second. As the devs also mentioned, every second counts, so these minor changes are really helpful. Next up we have one of the greatest changes in this patch, the Mastermind. The hinder penalty from full infection is now 4% instead of 8%, which is great since his power by itself was already very strong, and 8% slower makes it even stronger. So that is a very healthy change. Along with the fact that infection is now reduced to 1% when hooked instead of 50%, which helps you when you get tunneled, and it's just a fair change overall. Then we have some nerfs to the Blight's Eerie add-ons, which were obviously way too strong. Compound 33 now increases rush turn rate by 11% instead of 33%, and Iridescent Blight tag now increases rush speed by 10% instead of 20%. Double Eerie Blight was a very strong thing before, and now it's hopefully a little more balanced. These were all the killer changes from this patch. Now we also have some buffs to the toolbox. The sabotage speed has now been increased, along with the effects of sabotage related add-ons. This is so that toolboxes will be a little better when sabotaging. Then we also have some perks that got nerfed or buffed. And first of the perk changes we have Deadlock. The block duration has now been decreased from 30 seconds to 25 seconds. A small but reasonable nerf. Background player also got nerfed, but got a buff in return. It now increases your movement speed by 150% instead of 200%, just like any other exhaustion perk, but the exhaustion duration has been halved, meaning you can use it way more often now and even pair it with another exhaustion perk. This will make it a little bit more difficult to hit saves when being far away, but it will give you more chances to do so. Next up we have Grim Embrace, of which the block duration has been decreased from 12 to 10 seconds, which will make it a little bit more fair, although it's only a 2-second difference. The size of strike has been nerfed yet again, but not to 3 seconds, but instead in the middle, which is 4 seconds. So the stun duration of DS is now 4 seconds instead of the previous 5. Another meta perk that got nerfed is Pop Goes the Weasel, which will now regress the generator by 20% instead of 30%. This is because Pop is a very easy to use perk, and the conditions to activate it aren't very difficult, since you have to hook survivors, which is your main goal anyway. So this is definitely a healthy change as well, especially because this perk is very meta right now, so I like Behavior is nerfing some meta perks. And now the biggest change in this update yet, Buckle Up. No fear, for the people Buckle Up is no more. Buckle Up will no longer provide endurance. Instead, it will increase the movement speed of the picked up survivor by 150% for 5 seconds without causing exhaustion. This is absolutely insane. It's kind of like a mini version of background player, but then you give it to someone else. Plus it does not give you exhaustion, which is very nice as well. Another meta perk that is going to get nerfed is Scourge Hook Pain Resonance. It will now regress generators by 20% instead of 25%. The devs also noted that this really is a meta perk, and it's in 40% of all builds, which means they are trying to change the meta a little bit and maybe even bring new meta perks with the upcoming D&D chapter. Next up we have Invocation Weaving Spiders, which got buffed. The time it takes to do an invocation now is 60 seconds instead of 120 seconds, which is a well needed buff. And invocation progress now regresses at a rate of 1 charge per second instead of 20 charges per second, which means it won't regress as fast as before if no one is invocating. These are some well needed buffs, especially because the devs also mentioned that more invocation perks are coming soon. These were all the perk updates, and now we have another great change, which is the lighting in the decimated Borgo map. Before, it was very red, making it difficult to see scratch marks, the killer's red light, blood and auras, since they're all red. However, they've made the map more bluish, which looks insanely cool to me. This might also imply that a new map in this realm is coming with the Dungeons and Dragons chapter, so that's also sick. And then last but not least, we have item previews on the special items found within a trial, which is extremely good. I'm super happy the devs are making these things more understandable for newer players, especially because there's so many killers with their own type of item. So now, before picking up a special item, you can see a little pop-up with a short description for that item, which is just great. Alright, that's gonna wrap up the development preview of May 2024 and this video. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, make sure to like and subscribe, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye!